Hello and welcome to ASUS, and for a very special episode because normally, of course, we do hardware out there in the real world, but this time we're doing things a little bit differently and we're instead looking inside the world of PC Building Simulator. So we're going to be building ourselves some virtual gaming PCs this time, and you might remember we did this a little while ago. Perhaps about a year ago now, but PC Build Simulator already have a bunch of cool ROG stuff in the game that you can use to build your own dream ROG PCs. But now, thanks to some DLCs, we have here the Republic of Gamers Workshop. So if you have a little look at this, you can build your own PC in this cool, super cool little ROG gaming space. So check this out. We've got all these different little areas here. You've got this like cool wall and floor section. You've got these different workbenches. You can set up your own PCs on. You've got, of course, some of our fancy gaming peripherals over here. This area doubles as the inventory area too. So this is where you pick your stuff out. You've got the sick ROG logo over here. It looks like the perfect Republic of Gamers workshop and shop. We've even got some cool ROG clothing here, so I don't know if we'll ever be able to. Maybe this guy is wearing it, you just don't know because it's first person. We need a mirror in here so I can check myself out. Anyway, now we've had a little wander around this super cool ROG workspace. Oh, look at the ceiling, it's amazing. Anyway, we're going to be building ourselves a nice little ROG-themed gaming PC, so let's do it. Let's have a little look at what we've got. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be using, what space should we use? Let's use this one because we've got the nice ROG logo in the background. So we're going to pick up this PC, we'll take this back to the inventory, and we'll pick ourselves a brand new case. Let's have a look. We've got loads of different options here, so we'll see exactly what the best one is going to be. Alright, we took way too long to decide exactly what case we're going to go for, but I found this cool Tech Enyo case. So this is not something that I've used personally in the real world, not even sure if I've ever seen one, but it's super unique looking, very cool, and I'm sure this will fit with some of our nice ROG stuff, no problem. So let's go ahead and get building. Right, we'll take the side panel off first, get unscrewing. There we go. Very realistic unscrewing noises, there we go. It's actually, this is really big actually. Okay, I'm sure this will be fine though. Right, now what board should we go for? I'm thinking maybe we should do an AMD build. I feel like last time I think we did Intel, so let's mix things up. We'll go Team Red for this one. We won't go too, oh, do we want to, yeah, let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. We'll go for the X399 Threadripper. Pretty much ultimate power. Gonna go high core count. So we're thinking maybe this kind of PC is going to be good for doing a bit of rendering, gaming of course, content creation stuff, so real heavy-duty applications. The Threadripper CPU is going to be able to take care of those, no problem. And with the Strix X399 motherboard in there as well, that is going to be the perfect combination, so we can get some nice overclocks on our virtual CPU. Now let's get the right one. What should we have? Maybe a 2950? We don't want to go to, I mean, we could go for the all-out 32 core, but we want to keep things maybe a little bit realistic. So let's have this one here. 16 core, 32 thread. So that's going to be pretty nice, I think. So what next? We'll do the M.2 drives a little bit later, I think. So we should probably stick some RAM in this thing, right? So my personal favorite, I'm a big fan of the G-Skill Trident Z stuff. We also use Team Group RAM quite a lot, so let's go for one of these. What ones can we go for here? These ones are quite cool looking. I'm quite liking the look of these. See if there's a higher speed than 3000 megahertz. Maybe that's the best we can get. Ooh, 3200. That's blue LED though. I really want some RGB stuff. We've got to keep it as shiny as humanly possible. Oh, actually, that is not... Oh, yeah, no, that is RGB. Okay, let's use... Ooh, do we use this one or this one? Let's go for this one. So we'll get a couple of these in here. So we've got to open the little clips here on each side. This is going to be a little bit fiddly to do, I think, but luckily much easier in the video game than in real life. So we might need to do a little bit of an angle change. And we're gonna go ahead and just fill up every slot on here. Because let's face it, it does look way cooler having every slot populated. So we're going to have to do this quite a few times, I think. What one did we go for? Was it that one that we went? I think we did. The RGB ones? Yeah, okay. What we don't want to be doing is having non-matching RAM. That is not very cool. Got to keep everything looking nice and matching together. Get these in here. It's quite satisfying putting all these things in. You can actually buy from some brands as well. They will do dummy RAM. So if you don't want to buy 8 RAM sticks, you can just go ahead and buy dummy ones and populate all your slots. So the board looks really cool. You're getting the performance you need, but you're not spending quite as much cash as you would have to buy 8 sticks. Right, let's move on. So what can we stick in now? We could go for the graphics card next, actually. Oh no, let's go power supply. Let's put the power supply in there. Since this is a PC building simulator and not actual PC building, we of course have a little bit of flexibility in the correct order to do things. Let's have a look. Most of these are going to be much of a muchness. We'll see if there's a little RGB one that we can stick in there. We've got to get some pretty colors going on wherever possible. How about this one? Smart Pro RGB, 850 watt is going to be fine for us for this build, I think. Let's get this in here. So first, so power supply actually goes sideways in that little back bit there. So first of all, we'll take off this back panel. Oh, I didn't fully take that screw out. Out you go. There you go. One of the downsides of this case, because it's so big, it's actually a little bit fiddly to get things in. Now we've got to select that thing again. Here we go. And you get nice. Get that screwed in as well. Very good. Looking cute at the back there. And you could even, you could have 2 power supplies if you want. Not really sure why you would need that, because I think this can only fit 1 motherboard in here. But there you go. Alright, we've got that. Let's get some more stuff in here. I think it would be a good idea to get some storage involved, actually. So, you know what, let's open this little drive bay here. We can put an M.2 on this. Keep the board, keep the PC looking nice and clean. What one should we go for? We'll go for a nice, cool-looking one if there is one. Not that it really matters, because you're not going to see it. How about one of these A-data ones? I think we can... Let's go for multiple drives, so we can get a 480. We can stick that on there. And then this can be like our boot drive. We can keep all our games on here and stuff. But then we can have another bigger drive as well for all our mass storage options. We'll close that CPU shield as well. Alright, so we got that in there now. That's just tucked away there nicely. Look, you can barely even see it. Keeping things nice and clean. But right, let's get a slightly bigger bit of storage on here. Seagate Barracudas are pretty legit. We could go for a nice big fat 4 terabyte one. I'm not sure where they go. Oh, they go down here. Okay. Or is that on the back? I'm not sure. Let's just see what happens. Oh, there we go. Yeah, loads of space. Loads of space for different drives. You know what? Let's get another one in there. Because we might as well have an SSD on there too. And then what we could use that for, that can be for some more games, that kind of thing. Let's get a little 1 terabyte one in there. Is there somewhere else you can put SSDs? On a lot of cases, you'll have a separate, specific 2.5-inch drive bay that you can put SSDs in. This one, not so much, and it's just going to sit there. Which looks a little bit strange, I guess, but that's fine. That's not too bad. All right, so we've got actually a lot of our components that are physically on the board now. So we can do a couple of our other bits. I think we should probably get the CPU cooler on there, and then we can do the graphics card at the end. So let's have a look at our CPU cooling options. Ideally, we want to go for a nice all-in-one cooler. Sadly, I don't think they've got the Ryujin and the Ryuo. No, they don't. That's a bit of a shame. But what they do have, they've got some of these NZXT ones, so let's go for one of these. I quite like the 360mm one here, so let's have a little go with this. So where can we put it? We've got quite a few different options for where this can potentially go. I kind of like the idea of having it here, if that does indeed go on the front and not the back. Is that, that's mounted on the back. I'm not quite sure if I like that. Let's try somewhere else. See if we can get somewhere else that's a bit more interesting. Up at the top could be quite nice. Maybe that could be kind of interesting down at the front. Although we don't want these big long cables dragging around. That's something that we want to avoid if possible. So maybe that little back spot is going to be the best one actually, because then we're not going to have super long trailing cables. Oh, let's go here actually. Yeah, that could be okay. I kind of like that. Keeps everything super nice and clean. We're going to have loads of empty space over on the right-hand side of the case, but I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. We've got a lot of screws to put in here. Luckily, we've got our super high-powered screwdriver, so we can get this no problem. We're also using the wall hack, so we're doing a little bit of screwing in through the case. Not quite sure how that works, but that doesn't matter, it does the job. So there we go, we've got our Kraken sitting there. Looking very nice. Barely covering the CPU, because the Threadripper CPU is so big. But that doesn't matter, that's looking pretty cool there. So I think it's time to get some graphics cards in here, and then we can do all the cabling and get everything nice and put together. So let's have a look, see what our graphics card options are here. We've got a couple of ROG Strix ones here. We could keep everything all AMD, but I think we want to go for the most powerful thing ideally. So let's get a couple of 1080s in here if we can. Yeah, that's going to be nice. We can get 2 in there, no problem. And because of the open nature of this case, we don't need to worry too much about taking off different panels, that sort of thing. Alright, here we go. Let's get another one of these in there. I'm not sure if we need... Oh, there we go. We've automatically got an ROG SLI bridge. How cool is that? I was just going to ask the question if we needed one of those, but there we go. It's done it for us. And we've got the cool exclusive ROG edition as well for maximum bandwidth. So that's looking pretty nice now. That's pretty tasty. Ideally, we could get something to fill this space, but it doesn't actually look like anything goes in there. So I think this case really would have been better off if we were doing some custom water cooling stuff, which you can actually do in this game, but it is potentially a little bit complicated. So I'll just give you guys a little bit of an idea of the kind of things you can do, because this is something that they added a little bit later. So what I imagine you could do, for example, if we take a look, what have we got? One of these alpha cool ones, maybe. Yeah, so you can actually stick a radiator, or a pump rather, a reservoir in here. In fact, you know what? Let's give this a quick go. Let's see if we can build a very, very simple cooling loop. So we're going to leave the graphics cards as they are, but if we take off this Kraken, we've got a little bit of unscrewing to do now. Unfortunately, we probably shouldn't have screwed all this stuff in, but that doesn't matter. So let's give this a quick attempt and see if we can build ourselves a little virtual cooling loop. Now, this is always something that I've kind of thought about doing out in the real world, but it's one of those things where you need a little bit of confidence whenever liquid cooling is involved. It's not actually as hard as people think that it is, but you know, there's always the potential for something to go a little bit wrong. But of course, if you have a little practice first out here in PC Build Simulator, then that massively reduces the chances of things going wrong, because you can get a good idea of how everything fits together. So we've got our 2 primary components now for a simple loop. We've got our reservoir, we've got our little water block as well. So the other thing we're going to need is a radiator. So what one can we go for here? Is there a deep cool one? Alpha cool rather? Yeah, let's go for one of these. Go for this 360mm one. In fact, we can put that, yeah, let's put it where it was before. A little bit more screwing to do. I think there is an option in the settings menu somewhere to remove the time that it takes for these screws to go in. But I am a PC building sim novice, so I haven't switched that on. But there we go, so those are the most important parts. So now, it's time to get a bit of tubing going on. So we can attach some cables here. What can we do? You know what, let's keep this as simple as possible, because I've literally just had the idea of doing this. So if we go clear flexible pipe, so what we'll do, I'm not sure if you can tell what way is in. Oh yeah, there you go, you've got in and out written there. Just about. Not so hard to see. So we're going to take it out of this pump, and then it's going to go into the CPU, out of the CPU, and then through the radiator. So that's the correct way around to do things. So that's the in for there. And then does this also say in and out? Yes, so we'll take it in, and then out of the CPU, and into the radiator. Does this have an in and out point? Not sure if it does, I can't see. So we'll just take that there. Whoa, no route for flexible pipe? Ah, come on. There must be, surely. Alright, so we'll have to undo that. Alright, it doesn't want me to undo it. Let's give this another go. Let's try this one. Also, I've only just noticed this PC Build Simulator song. I love that. Nice. Good tunes, good tunes. Okay, so we might have to put this somewhere else, I think, because it's not letting us route these things through here, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe I can do, if I do this. Yeah, I think what's happening is it wants to use this hole here for both in and out. So what we'll do, let's see if we can use some rigid pipe instead. So let's use this clear one, just for a bit of a test. Yeah, it's doing the same thing, unfortunately. So what we'll do, let's take this out. Oh, we've got the screws again. You're going to be seeing a lot of this. Right, here we go. We'll get these out. We'll stick this somewhere else. And then hopefully we can get this actually working. Right, install radiators. Oh, you know what, actually, let's go for a smaller one, because that might actually help. This song is ridiculous. Props to them, though, for making a specific song just about building your PC. Okay, let's get some piping going. Let's change this back to the flexible one. So we want to go out here, and then we can go to the radiator. There we go, and now we can... Oh, there we go. Let's put everything together. Come on. Nice. Okay, that is looking much better. So we've got... Unfortunately, we do have our clear pipe. Oh, no, we're good. I thought it was clipping through there, but it's actually okay. So there we go. We've got our very simple little water-cooled CPU loop there. So that's pretty nice. But we've got one more thing to do when it comes to this cooling loop, and that is getting the actual coolant in. So what kind of color can we go for? We've got a whole bunch of different options here. We'll go for something that's got a little bit of jazz to it. Maybe this purple clear UV coolant. That would be cool. Ah, pump not powered. I was hoping we could put the liquid in there without the pumping powered, but that's fine. So let's do a little bit of cabling now. So we'll have to wire up all this stuff. So let's get that done first, and then we can make sure that everything has the power that it needs. So we'll get these motherboard ones done first. So what we're doing, although you can't see it, the power supply is in the back, so we're connecting everything to the PSU. So we'll get these graphics cards in here. In reality, you could take those off one rail. Oh no, it has done it. Okay, it's put all the power cables on one rail, which is nice. Get the radiator, stuck that on the motherboard, put the case into the front panel. It is a little bit tricky to see exactly what's going on because I am doing this quite quickly as well, but that doesn't matter. So we're now hooking our drives up. So they've got both power and they're connected to the SATA ports on the motherboard. So we've done most of the things that we need to now. Let's just get these in here. So that's our display cable. Oh yeah, we don't want that yet because we've... Oh no, we're fine, we're fine. It should be fine. So we've got this, and then we've got the power cable also. So there we go. Now we can probably go ahead and put our coolant in there. Now we've got some power going to this thing. Let's have a look what we're going to use. The clear UV. There we go. Get that reservoir in there. That's looking a bit more interesting now. We've got this purple stuff going on. Kind of fits with this little purple, blue and such. Little jazzy thing. Oh, there we go. Look, it's filling up as well. That's cool. So that is going to go around there now, I think, momentarily. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, all the way around. Nice, looking good. That tube kind of looks like it's clipping through the RAM, but it's actually not, because when you zoom in, it's fine. Oh, maybe it's not fine. Some angles it's fine, some angles it's not fine. Like, if you look from here, it's not touching it, so it's okay. It just kind of looks like it is. Alright, there we go. So we've gone ahead. We've pretty much got our things done now, so let's get a little bit of... we need to get our little PC parts back on, so get these side panels back on. And then we'll see if this thing actually works. That'd be a bit embarrassing if I didn't manage to turn on my own virtual PC build. Let's get the back one on as well. What would be good, of course, is if you could have the reservoir on the front somewhere. I think it's just a limitation of this case that it has to be on the back, but like if you could put it maybe on the top would be quite cool. Or even on the bottom there. Like I'm sure in the real world it would fit on that bit there. So you could have a nice little loop kind of going around there and then fitting on the front. I think that would be quite nice. We need to get an OS installed apparently, so let's have a look. Check out our tools and software. Oh, we didn't put thermal paste on, but we're assuming that the water block has that, so we don't need to worry about that too much. There we go, we've got our USB stick on there. I assume that has Windows on it. Let's press P, turn our PC on. Nice, we got our... Oh no, we haven't got a keyboard. I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright, so we've got a... Oh yeah, that's because the power cable's down here. In fact, can we... if we just back up from this for a sec, let's change our keyboard. Because we want to have... Yeah, let's use the ROG Claymore. We're going to have the numpad on the left. That's the way I like to use it personally. Keeps the numpad out of the way with your mouse there. And then we'll also switch this mouse pad as well. Let's get a Baltius Chi on there. Extra high-spec stuff. Alright, and now we can hopefully plug this cable in. In you go. Yeah, so that other cable I plugged in was for the mouse, not the display. Alright, hit P again, let's give this a little boot. I think you can genuinely do that to enter BIOS, which is quite cool. Okay, here we go. That is extremely loud. That is very, very loud. Okay. But that's done, so now we can get some cool stuff going on here. Lighting, obviously, very important. We won't install that just yet. Don't know what select wallpaper is. Let's have as well, let's get our little GPU, our non-brand GPU software on there. I think I might have to turn that volume down in editing or something, because yeah, that is insanely loud. Alright. This is going to be a little bit tricky when we can't actually look at the PC itself, but let's, you know what, let's just synchronize everything. So we'll change the speed a little bit. Let's have a little bit of a, what do we want? Let's go rainbow. Oh no, that's way too fast. Yeah, we want a nice slow fade, I think. It just goes around all of our nice RGB components. So we've got everything selected. And if we apply that now, what we should see, yeah, there we go. Nice cool little glow. Well, you know what we could do as well? We could have everything match our nice purple coolant, and we'll make everything purple. Let's give that a go. So if we give it a little breathe, we can make it. This colour isn't quite as bright as I would want it to be. It looks a bit dark there. It looks a bit better here though. Still quite different. This coolant is very blue. So maybe we need to make things a little bit more blue here. Yeah, it's just strange that this is a kind of grey colour and not white. Let's see what that looks like now. Yeah, it's kind of the same. I think maybe something has gone a bit funny with this colour actually, so let's just reset this. Here we go. And if we select everything again, we can put it on a nice blue, maybe a little bit more purple. A little bit more purple. A little bit more. That might look quite nice. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. That's not too far off our coolant colour. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. All the fans are spinning nicely. It's actually quite loud. Of course, if you were building this in real life, you'd have these fans set in PWM mode. So if you were just in the OS in a non-brand operating system here, then things would not be quite so loud, but this is only a simulator after all. So let's just back away from this. Let's admire our handiwork. Yeah, I think this is looking quite cool. We got a lot of space in this case. I think in retrospect, we could have picked something it's a little bit more compact, but that's fine. That doesn't matter too much. You know what, actually, let's have a look, see what else we can install. Let's see what wallpapers we've got. I don't really want to have to restart, but I guess we don't have any choice, so how can we do that through this menu? Maybe we'll just power it off through there. There we go. Yeah, it really does make quite the racket, doesn't it? I think it's because I've got the sound volume on 100% and the music volume turned quite down low. So yeah, that is a very loud noise, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and pick our cool wallpaper. Oh, nice! We got an ROG one. Perfect. There we go. How about that? And it even fits the kind of purple vibe we've got. So there you go. we have our nice little custom, fully ROG PC in the ROG Workshop. What more could you possibly want? Personally, I certainly wouldn't mind having a nice room like this. The awesome ROG logo looking pretty nice on the wall. We've even got, because this is the PG270UQ monitor, we've even got the RGB on the monitor as well. So we've got everything matching and looking pretty good. So I'm quite happy with this build overall. I think we did a nice job. We've got a little bit of basic water cooling. Of course, there's a whole load of stuff that you could do with this build, especially in terms of water cooling. Yeah, there's really a massive amount, but I think we did a good job. So thank you very much for watching this little video and checking out PC Build Simulator. Let us know down there in the comments if you enjoyed it, and of course if you've got any suggestions, what could we have done with this build? And let us know as well if you've been enjoying the game, because I certainly think it's pretty cool. It's a fun little way of building your dream PC without actually having to go out there and buy the components. As you can see, this is a $5,500 value system, and we just put it together in like 20 minutes or so. So I think that's a job well done from us. So thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next video.